It's very common for avoidantly attached people to send mixed signals about the status of your relationship. In the beginning, they might say like, I can't wait to live the rest of my life with you. I can't wait for you to meet my mom. I can't wait to marry you. I can't wait to have kids with you, or whatever they said to you. And then a week later, they don't talk to you like all week. You don't see each other all week. There's no dates. There's no initiative. They don't text you. There's nothing. And you're like, what's going on? Because a couple days ago, you wanted like to live the rest of your life with me, and now all of a sudden, like, we're not even talking. That makes no sense. And then the following week, they're like, hey, haven't seen you in a while, like, want to grab dinner. And you're just so confused because you're riding this emotional roller coaster of, okay, I'm all in, like, I really like you too. I would love to spend the rest of my life with you, even though I barely know you. But then when they pull away, it's like you want them more. This addiction grows stronger because you're like, where are you? What's going on? It's like the big question mark of, why are you acting so distant? Why are you acting different? What's going on? And the main reason why this happens, like why those mixed signals are so strong and the waves are just so big with the avoidant attached individual, is because avoidants have a very hard time communicating effectively. It's hard to come to terms with their emotions. It's hard to pinpoint what they're feeling and then also tell you what they need and want from you. One day they might feel this intense wave of love and emotion for you, a very intense emotion. But to the avoidant attached individual, emotions are seen as bad and scary and weak. If you have too many emotions, that could be a slippery slope into becoming a failure, into losing control over your life, into losing who you are in a relationship. Because if you are an avoidantly attached person, maybe when you grew up, you learned that, okay, the people in your household were just very emotional. And when they got home or from work and they were just super frustrated, they could have got mad at you or blamed you for something that you didn't do. And so you learn when people are emotional, it leads to bad things. It leads to being blamed for things that you didn't do. It brings up this feeling of guilt and shame. And so avoidants just learned, okay, I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to be blamed. I don't like when people are emotional. So when I'm emotional, I can't go to other people for help. I never went to my caregivers or parents for help. So I'll figure it out on my own. That was the mindset when they were young. And that's still the mindset as an adult. Do you get that? So they learned, okay, I have to keep my emotions at bay. I have to figure everything out on my own. I have to be independent and autonomous. That's the only way I can survive. But when they met you, you shook up their world. They started feeling emotions for you. Maybe they fell in love with you. That's why they expressed it. They're like, shit, like, I could spend the rest of my life with you, because that was a real emotion in the moment. But the thing is with avoidance, they are pros at suppressing emotions. So when they arise, they're real. But when they go home and they're all alone, they're like, shit, that was too much. I've got to like get a grip on my life again. I got to feel like I'm in control again. I got to bring these emotions down. So they suppress those emotions. And when they suppress those emotions, they're distancing themselves from you, because if they see you, they might fall in love again. So it's like, okay, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do all week long. I'm just not going to respond to you. I'm going to stack up my schedule to the brim so that I am so busy that I have no time to reach out to you and no time to even feel anything for you. That's what you're experiencing, those highs and lows. To the avoidant, they're only thinking about themselves. It's not because they're selfish and they don't like you and they don't care for you. No, they do. But they've learned since a very young age that, okay, I got to take care of myself. I am the priority. Now, it's completely different from the other side. If you have an anxious attachment, your priority is taking care of your partner's well-being. Your health and your mental state of mind, all of those things come second. That's why when you have an anxious attachment, you are so obsessed with your partner. You are so obsessed with knowing that they like you, knowing that they want to be with you, knowing that they haven't changed their mind and they want to be with someone else. You are so obsessed with them because if they are gone, you lose yourself. And that's a scary thing. So avoidants are scared of losing themselves in the relationship, and anxious people are scared of losing their partner in the relationship. Does that make sense? So for the avoidant attached individual, they're terrible at communication because they've never really learned how to feel the emotions, process them, and let them go. Instead, what they do is they feel the emotions. They might tell you, their actions might show and prove that they're feeling something, and then they suppress them. That's the mixed signals. That's the, wait, you were acting totally different like a couple days ago. Why are you not acting that way now? It's because they've suppressed. Does that make sense? That's another reason why when you start to feel like they don't care about me, they're pulling away, they're not even trying to meet my needs. Your needs might be, I want to see them, I want to feel loved by them, I want to feel heard by them, I want reassurance from them. They're not giving you any of that, which they might have in the beginning, but because now they're suppressing and they're like distancing and they're trying to gain their stability and control again, you start to feel the pull away from you. Like I said before, avoidants are only thinking about themselves and keeping themselves safe and surviving. They're autonomous and independent. So when you are struggling and you need something from them emotionally, it's hard for them to read that and give that to you, because in their mind, it's like, I've always had to do that for myself. Like if I needed something emotionally or just physically or just anything, I had to take care of myself. Why can't you? They're not going to tell you that, but in their mind, it's like, I can't take on this responsibility of being your parent, the person that keeps you sane and gives you all this comfort. Like I can do it sometimes, but holy shit, I can't do it as much as you're asking me to do it. And the thing is, you guys, a lot of you who have an anxious attachment might have grew up in a household that your parents held your hand through a lot of conflicts. So you've learned, okay, when there's a conflict, all I have to do is go to my caregiver and they'll comfort me. They might even solve the problem, or they'll just make me feel good. So you learn that when you were a child. That's your method of feeling okay when things go wrong. Well, as an adult, you don't run to your parents. Maybe you still do, I don't know. But as an adult, you run to your partner. And you go to your partner and you're like, listen, I have all these problems, fix them. Or listen, I feel this way, like make me feel better. Because you don't know any other way of comforting. Does that make sense? Which can drive your partner crazy if they know how to comfort themselves all by themselves. Remember, they're autonomous, they're independent. They don't need anyone else.